Okay, guys. We have a fundamental theorem of calculus. We already talked about it, the other one. And we're going to talk about part 1 again. Part 1 says integration between a to b.
Should we write this down again?
I mean, you don't have to, but f of x dx is equal to big F of b minus big F of a. Now, with knowing this, do you know how to do this question if I give you this questions?
No.
So I'm going to show you. Don't say no yet.
I'll wait until you're done finishing the poem.
So I have this graph here. I have this graph here. Okay, so now with that being said, I'm gonna name this function as f prime of x. F prime of x. That's it. F prime of x. Got it? So we said if f of 0 is equal to let's not do f of 0, let's do f of 4 is equal to 6. Can you find f of 0?
Do you have to find the equation of the derivative?
I don't know. You figure out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. So the slope is
I'm like 20%.
and the slope is 2. So it's 1/2 x plus 2.
Wait, can I override?
Oh my gosh, it's plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6.
How could you
0.
No,
Wait.
Negative? No.
0.
Wait.
Can't
E
you
over A.
1/4 x squared
What?
plus 2x.
I wouldn't have to go past 0? Like negative?
Do you want to go past? That's fine. You can go past.
Doesn't change anything.
You didn't change anything.
Oh, wait, it wasn't free, bro.
Very attractive.
This is 12. And this is 4.
Oh, as long as that. My.
Oh, it's 4. Oh, my God.
Isn't that just like?
Is it? Let me see. Yeah, I think I have the answer.
It's 0.
Still the answer?
I'm still drawing the drawing.
I'm just trying to find the
I didn't do the fundamental theorem thing. But I think I have the answer.
No, that.
What'd you get?
Negative 1
Negative
half
6?
x plus 4.
I don't think so.
Whatever you say.
Alright, let me show you myself.
So
Say it's a fundamental
that would be
So you know how capital F is an integration? Now if you make F times that.
Derek.
F of F, and no F of F capital.
You know the graph is f prime, right?
Like you can see this, right?
You know the f
That, all you do
you know
is
the
like
graph
F
is
times
f
that
prime,
equals
right?
F. Do we have to
Oh,
I'm
then
trying to solve this, but
and then it'd be x squared minus.
you just found the integration, right?
Where in the world did
Yeah.
you get x squared?
The graph, and then you know
The
the graph
integral
of the derivative.
of
Yeah, so you just find the
that is negative 1/2.
So you take integral of that.
Alright, let's get. I found my mistake. I forgot the negative.
Oh, so. So if it's just. Okay. It's just the zero.
Y prime equals.
It's in the negative because it's 1 half, right?
The integral of that is
Negative 4 plus 8
Yeah, it'd be negative x squared.
equals 6.
what are you? Am I hearing you saying? Are you okay?
Wait, C2?
Huh?
C2.
Okay, there you go.
That's a huge mistake.
Yes, thank you.
That's okay.
Okay, yeah, negative 1/4 x squared
Plus 2x.
Yeah.
plus 2x.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we don't
Okay,
care
so
about, actually, no, we do care
so
about
the integration of the
Dang it,
line
I don't like
graph.
C.
So
four
that graph is
squared,
1/4 x squared
is
plus
16 divided by 4 is 4.
But remember, it's negative 4.
Negative 4
plus 2.
plus
Add x.
8,
Yes.
So one
which is
plus
4,
Oh,
which is, so C is 2.
yikes.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Yikes.
Okay, yeah. No, these are.
I think we just have to go
No,
with this.
you remember, you're adding C, right?
And then it
So when you add C, plug in 4.
Wait, what?
That's for negative 1 over 4 times x squared.
Of course you got
Where
it.
is 4 squared? When you integral negative 1 half x, it's negative 1/4.
The way I did it doesn't work. I think.
All right, so I hear the answer throughout, and it's very good that you guys come up with that. So I'm gonna show you a slow way to do this question, and which is most of you guys did a slow way, which is I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you did a slow way. It just I think that in the test time you don't have that much time, so you want to make sure that do things more efficient. I'm gonna show you an inefficient way. I'm gonna show you efficient way. Don't copy down the inefficient way, because you probably already have it. So it's gonna be, this case is you go back to algebra 1 to figure out what the equation is. So the slope is gonna be negative 1/2 x plus 2. I think some people did this. I think somebody did this,
Yes.
which is gonna get x squared over 4 negative plus 2x plus c is equal to f of x, right? And I'm gonna plug in 4. So it'll be negative 4 squared over 4 minus 2 times 4 plus c. And that's equal to 6 is equal to, I believe that's negative 4
Plus
minus 8.
I think you, it's,
This is
you
plus
add
8.
minus,
it's plus 2 times 1, not minus 2.
Okay, so plus 8 plus c. So it'll be 6 equal to 8 plus 4 plus c.
Just regular 4.
And then c move to the other side, it's going to be 2 equal to c. So f of x is equal to negative x squared over 4 plus 2x plus c. Now if you plug in 0, then if you plug in 0, it's going to be 0 squared 4 plus 2 times 0 plus c, which is equal to, c is equal to 2, right? So therefore the answer is equal to 2. Now I'm going to show you a way you don't even have to lift a pencil.
Please.
Just where it's at.
Huh?
If this works, I'll never do work again.
So you don't have to lift a pencil, but I'm going to show you by writing down for you. But you don't have to lift a pencil. Why? Because if you have integration of f prime of x dx, right, between 0 to 4, the boundary, I will give it to you, which is fundamental theorem of calculus. If you integral of f prime, you're going to get f of 4 minus f of 0. And what is this representing here?
That's fundamental.
That's
Area under the curve.
So therefore, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 equal to f of 4 minus f of 0. F of 4 is equal to 6. Minus 6 equal to negative f of 0. So f of 0 is equal to 2.
there you go.
I bet it's hard.
No? What is it?
So you know how the left side in this integration literally.
It can. There was in your homework. There's a calculated question, but it's the same idea.
Oh, where do you
Right,
get
so
4
you get
from?
the area of the
F
two
of
that's
4 equals 6.
which is 4. Now you get plus
Oh,
5
wait,
and
I'm
subtract this 6.
Wait, f of 4
Ah,
I don't mind.
Is that easy?
Thank you. Where do you get 4 from?
Wait.
So the idea of fundamental theorem of calculus.
Should be.
So you know f of 4 is 6. So you subtract 4 times 4. Yeah.
Okay.
In between 0
So
and 4,
what do you
those
get
are the down.
Where is it?
4 up or down.
Because the
0
area
up,
under the
down.
graph between those
Like right here.
So 2 times
4 and
4
0,
is-
right?
Oh, okay. I
So
see that.
you just
Oh, so
in
I
that
like
line.
Ethan, you play Minecraft? Stop it.
A little bit more. Triangle and you just subtract 5.
earlier
No.
when it's not updated. No, just
Oh, that's soft. Did you play-
Oh yeah, but then you have to subtract by
So So how much work is this? I don't even have to lift a pencil to do that. I can imagine that in my head. I can figure out this. I just solve that inside my head, and that's done. You don't have to lift a pencil. I hear the work is so much. It's inefficient. I mean, you can do a definite integral between 0 to 4, but you're gonna definitely get 4 anyway. So the work doesn't need to be this hard. It can be much more efficient. So when you're doing something, make sure you figure out what's the best way to do something. And like I said, yesterday I was watching Elon Musk was talking, and I really like the guy. Like, if you ever listen to him talk, very interesting. He says, how do I determine whether to fire somebody? And he says,
They're not making it.
no. He says if the person that worked for him refused to fail something, that means that's the first person I'll get rid of.
Why?
Refuse to fail. Because if you're not failing, you're not trying. That's his idea. So you have to. I mean, the way he talked, it was very phenomenal. He got me to thinking a lot of things, actually. So yeah, so because his company is really based on innovations, and in order to have innovation to occur, you need to start trying something to fail at something, right? In order to make an innovation occur, you cannot just first time you come a product, it's going to be successful. There's no way.
Can you go back up for a second?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, did yesterday we go over how to do this? 1 minus t squared dt between sine of x and the cosine of x. Did we talk about this?
No.
It's different. It's like applying
Well,
science.
you would
Like,
verify
mine
that.
says I refuse to fail.
Huh?
Huh?
Did we talk about this question?
To make you want to try harder.
Okay, Derek. Shh.
Is it like
I'm adding on to that whole Elon Musk thing.
Okay, so the idea is this part, right? We talked about this part before. We talk about a perfect nail, which is fundamental theorem calculus. If that's a function, then you have to take a derivative of that. Then there's chain rule involved, and this part is the chain rule. You have to take a derivative of x to get. So first of all, you integrate f of x, small f of x. Then that's going to be big f of x and big f of a. Then I'm going to take a derivative after that. So if I derivative big f of x, it's going to give me small f of x times the derivative of an x, which is 1. Normally people don't forget that 1, but the 1 is super important because the chain rule. If you take a derivative of f of x, you have to take a derivative inside, which is x, which is going to give me 1. Is this okay? This is okay? Now look at this question. Now, I'm going to take a derivative of d to the dx of x squared to 0 of natural log of t dt. Now, here's the truth. It's true that no one in this room knows how to take integration of natural log of t. No one in BC Calc knows how to take integration of natural log of t dt until today. Because today we just cover integration by parts. And so they don't know how to do it. But they can do this question, however. The reason being is you don't have to worry about, Ethan, are you paying attention? You don't have to worry about if you can take an integral of that function. You're just going to write as an expression. So what I did is I write as an expression, I write down as a g of t. If I write down g of t, I just have to integrate g of t. Because I know my end goal is going to take a derivative of that anyway, so I don't need to worry about it. The only problem when you do that, when you integrate g of t, it's going to give you big G and big G here. Then I'm going to take a derivative to this one. Now, if I take a d to the dx of g to the 0, it's going to be small g 0 times derivative of the 0, which is 0. And this one's going to be from big G to small g of x squared times derivative of x squared, which is 2x. So I know my end result is going to be negative g of x squared times 2x. Well, what is g? G is natural log of t. So I can plug in the x squared into natural log of t, which is natural log of x squared times 2x. Does that make sense? So the hardest part is the as part. No, I mean assume, not as. But there's an as here. As you and me, somebody just told me that today. So that's called assume. Huh? Assume means
It's an okay word.
as just means donkey, right? That's what I told my son. When he asked me, he's like, "Daddy, you curse." I said, "No." I says, "Donkey." Look it up. Right? Huh? Okay, so this assuming part is actually very important. Very, very important. Because you don't have to be able to take that function. So we just assume that's a small g of t, and we integrate that. Okay, so now we're gonna show you how to do, you're gonna tell me how to do this one. D to the dx of integration sine of x, cosine of x to sine of x of square root 1 minus t squared dt. Now, first of all, you don't know how to take integration of 1 minus t squared?
Wait, is it sine of t or just t? Or
Sine of x is the upper bound, the lower bound is the cosine of x. Now remember, I'm taking derivative with respect to x. The boundary is a variable. That's the one thing that I will tell you. So the best way to start with, assume. Yeah, assume. Huh? That's a circle, but the problem is you can take an integral of that. You can do a definite integral, but you cannot do a indefinite integral, because definite integral is just area under the curve, but indefinite integral is actually a functions, right?
Can you scroll back up?
Yeah, you can take a picture of the other one. I don't know where it's at. It's right here.
Thank you.
was that Gregor? What? Was that? So when you assume you make an ass of
So
you.
U is going to be.
Your parents know that? What? I think it's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Assume.
Now you needed some trigonometry identity. Please don't mess up trigonometric identity.
It's okay.
It's okay. Usually it sounds pretty good.
It's okay, you fail, you get hired by Elon Musk.
If you learn how to fail, Elon Musk says he doesn't care about if you have a college degree. So you don't even need a college degree to get hired in like SpaceX, or you just need a. Oh, he said he's looking for 3 things on your resume.
Oh,
You only had to tell him 3 things.
Harvard, Princeton.
No, he says, what have you done that's exceptional? That's the only thing he asks. What have you done is exceptional? And you're going to write it down.
I got third place in this competition.
That's not exceptional. That's just like above average.
I know, it's a joke.
what a word oil hire.
And then it's all
Cosine x times third is 1 times the expression. Sine x squared.
Wait, what are we doing? Your problem. I don't know what to assume. That's assuming that.
So long, it gets very hard. Worth a try.
Derek, who are you talking to?
Zach.
Oh, I can my phone.
Zach. You won't shut up.
He's more annoying or Will more annoying?
Will.
Trying to guess here.
Answer is super beautiful. Super beautiful.
Oh, it's
One.
zero.
It's one.
It's zero, isn't it?
Huh?
It's one.
It is one. But you do you know how to do it?
It's there. I found it.
Did you actually solve it?
Yeah,
No.
No.
You just
So
guess.
different, dude.
Oh.
Alright.
Wait, what's the oh, yeah, wait.
Yeah, like
Where
we did it
one
sine
minus-
2x and then
You don't know your trigonometric
I
identities.
see. Oh, no, I see.
this one. Wait.
Oh, really, that makes
yeah,
sense
I
now.
think I see it. It's you have g sine x cosine x plus v cosine x sine x and then
No, g cosine of x. Derivative of the cosine of x is what?
it's negative sine x.
I almost
But
there.
you subtract them so you add them together. So right?
No.
It's,
Okay.
it's like negative, so you put the two together.
If you do automatically becomes cosine squared x plus sine squared x.
Isn't it 2 cosine x sine x?
No, right. Look, I got it. I know. I got it. So you know how we made it so this whole sequel we have to let me just use the math. Cosine. So just plug back in, right? Plug this back in. Because that's what he did. That's what he's supposed to do. Then that becomes 1 minus sine squared. And 1 minus sine. It was like right. So you can make that simpler. That's gonna be cosine times cosine and sine times sine. And then cosine.
Is that
Cosine
cosine?
times cosine.
Okay, start with assume. As just means donkey. F of t. So integration of f of t dt between sine of x, cosine of x of theta dx. That's equal to f of sine of x minus f of cosine of x. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
And that's equal to f of sine of x. Well, we're going to times derivative inside, which is cosine of x, minus f of cosine of x times sine of x, but it's up negative. That's square root of 1 minus sine square of x times cosine of x minus square root of 1 minus cosine square of x. And you should know that identity already. This one's plus times sine of x because of that two negative sign becomes positive. And this one's going to be cosine square of x times cosine of x plus sine square of x square root times sine of x. And end up to be cosine of x squared because cosine square square root is cosine of x plus sine square of x. That's equal to 1. Wow, beautiful.
I definitely know how you do it. I forgot my
I got confused with the
Oh, sorry.
You just had to assume that function because you don't know how to deal with that function. Even your function you know how to deal with, you still can do the same thing.
Oh.
Even just x, you still can do the same thing.
Oh,